Well, I think quite low-key and perhaps tempered would be the description of this speech, given the expectations that were built up before. He largely focused on continuing that historical thread of today's Russia being a successor and inheritor of the Soviet Union's battle 77 years ago against Nazi Germany, creating that link between the battle that Russian troops are allegedly conducting today against Nazis in Ukraine, a theme that the Kremlin has been speaking of over the past weeks and months. Also a focus on external opponents and enemies in the face of the US and NATO, which, according to Putin, had rejected Russia's proposals for constructive dialogue, for peace, and had effectively forced Russia into taking action. That was a key theme here, that Russia had no other choice but to launch this military action because of the threat to its borders, the nuclear threat apparently from Ukraine, and the expansion of enemies on its borders, effectively a justification for that military action launched back on the 24th of February, and really very much a focus on unity, multi-ethnicity within Russia as well, and a support for those that were fighting in Donbass, what Putin described as their land, indeed as our land, a reference to that common greater Russia that the Kremlin has also used as a unifying theme throughout the past weeks and months.
Daniel, what can we garner, if anything, from his speech about what will be Russia's next move in Ukraine?
Well, it's tough to understand what the next move will be, purely because the expectations have built up so much surrounding what could have been said on this speech, because the Kremlin has previously made big operational announcements on symbolic days. Indeed, that military incursion into Ukraine was announced on the 24th of February, the day after Defender of the Fatherland Day, another big military festival here in Russia. I would say Vladimir Putin really, with this speech, played things right down the middle. He avoided announcing a war declaration or mobilization, which would, one, be unpopular with the Russian people and risk damaging his approval ratings, which, it has to be said, have gone right up since the start of the conflict to the mid-80s. It would also signify that things aren't going according to plan. Why announce a mobilization if things are going so well for the military? That's the Kremlin's point of view. He also avoided the opposite prediction, as some sort of de-escalation announcement of victory and mission accomplished, which many predicted he could have done, given the Russian military's largely in control now of Mariupol and the all but destruction of the Azov battalion based in Mariupol. That would have ticked some boxes of those aims, stated aims of the Russian actions in Ukraine, the demilitarization, denazification. He may well have announced that. He chose expressly not to mention victory, any sort of victory, in conjunction with Russia's actions in Ukraine. Really, this is a case of, I think, wait and see what's going to happen. That doesn't mean that war or mobilization won't or cannot be announced. That can be announced any time by presidential decree. This is a wait and see, really, from Vladimir Putin regarding three things: what's going to happen on the military front, the campaign in Donbass, what's going to happen with peace talks, negotiations with Kiev, and three, in terms of economic sanctions and blowback from the EU and Western allies. This is very much a statement that we're in this for the long run. Let's just wait and see what happens. Keep things low key for now.
Daniel Hawkins reporting there from Moscow. Thank you.